So this is connected to the other thing I was saying in the end, which is starts with the journaling, right? So one of the biggest things I've learned is that mindset is one of the most powerful things you can do, because if you can connect and feel reconnected to your mind and come from a place of strength, it changes everything, right? Because it's the lens with which we view the world. So I believe that 3 things we need to do to build a strong mindset. First, you want to forge a strong identity every day. So identity drives behavior. It's one of the biggest lessons I learned from this book, Atomic Habits. And the guys, it's a great book by James Clear. And he basically says that, a lot of times when we're starting a new habit or we're trying to do something new, we're focused on the outcome. And that, I want to lose weight, so I'm going to go to the gym every day, right? But the problem with that kind of behavior, new behavior, is that it's based on how motivated you're feeling on that day.
Right. Definitely.
Right? So it's very hard to motivate yourself on some days. But if you flip the script and say, okay, let's start by saying, who am I? What's my identity? And if you say, actually, I am a fit, athletic person. That's who I am. Right now, I'm just kind of let myself loose, but I'm a very fit, athletic person. Then you say, okay, if I'm a fit, athletic person, then what should a fit, athletic person do? Well, I guess I should probably go to the gym more often. Okay, that drives. So when your identity is very strong, your actions naturally reflect what you believe about yourself. And that's the first most important thing I say start doing is with the journaling, write down the life you want to live and the world you want to create. Start changing that up, because the thing you learn about from neuroscience is that the brain is very malleable. So you can train the brain to believe anything. They've done like studies on this where they've looked at people visual cortex in the brain, and the visual cortex lights up when we're looking at something, and it lights up exact same when we're imagining something. So to the brain, it doesn't know the difference between reality and what's in our head. That's how powerful it is. Because so if you keep writing a story about yourself and you say, this is who I want to be, this is what I want to see. You look at some of the best top performers, athletes or actors, they envision it, right? And they visualize it. That power of visualization helps you connect back to your identity. This is who I'm going to become. This is what I'm trying to do. And then your actions naturally reflect that. So that's the first thing I always say. Get up in the morning and write down in detail who you're trying to become, what you're trying to do, or find mantras that you really like. Like this is who I am. I'm a rock star mom who kicks butts and signs deals. Find something that helps you reconnect with your core identity and start there. Start the day having a clear sense of who you are and what you're going to do. So that's the first thing. And then the second thing is, this is what I do. So once I've done journaling that part and I got myself excited, the second thing I do is I do meditation. So meditation is very important. If you can do even 1 minute a day, again, back to this idea of emotions and feeling, it quietens our brain, right? So meditate, quieten the brain down. Once I quieten my brain down, I do 2 other activities. And basically what I do is I do gratefulness, a couple of things I'm very grateful about. So sometimes I'll wake up in the morning, I'll make my coffee and I'll smell the coffee beans. And I just love the smell of fresh coffee beans. And to me, I'm grateful for that. Or I look at my daughter and I'll just feel it. And just staying in that moment, gratefulness is at the heart of every prayer, if you think about it. And that's what you're doing. By saying you're grateful, you're saying you're joyful to be in this world and you're reconnecting with that. So being grateful. And then the last part is self-love. Now, this is the part most people don't do much of, especially immigrants, from our developing nations. Like our cultures didn't speak to this as much, but it is highly, highly critical that you take the time to love yourself. And this sounds very wishy-washy, but the best way I explain it is like this. Let's say you have a kid and the kid has failed an exam, right? You could shout at them, you could scold them, but that doesn't make them feel good. Instead, what do we usually do? We tell them, no, you did a great job. You tried hard, you worked hard, you're amazing, you're amazing. Now, imagine if that kid was you. What would you tell yourself? Right? And that's the toughest part. Most of us don't know how to say, oh, you're amazing. You're doing a great job, right? You're worthy of being loved, not because you achieved great things or you did those things, but because you are you. So for me, it's very important that I write down that I love myself the most, because the more I feel that I accept who I am and my bad parts, the things I'm shameful about, and kind of, again, writing it down and working through those, the more confident I come across in the world. So those are the three things I try to do after doing my visualization identity: is meditation, gratefulness, and self-love. So that's my practice every day. And then the last part of that, which I also do at the bottom of it, the third big part, is I write down, I do basically tackle my intolerable emotions. So how do working through when I'm feeling really low or I'm feeling very strong negative emotion, I journal that too. So that's the three kind of big